Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome, guys.
Go on now, girl. Tell them about yourself.
My name is Fiona, and I currently live in Richmond. I used to live in Charlotte for about 10 years, and I really like scary stories. And yeah, I guess that pretty much sums it up. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm Paloma. I'm from Charlotte. I'm a Charlotte native. And yeah, I love paranormal stuff ever since I was little. I've tortured myself with stories and movies and all that good stuff, to a point that now we're making it our hobby. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, being stuck in quarantine, we have to come up with so many hobbies.
Yeah. How's quarantine going for you, Fee?
It's good. I mean, what? Is it good? I mean, I'm here, I'm surviving, and I don't have COVID, so I think things are good. I don't know. How are you?
Good. I am stuck in the house with 2 dogs, a husband and a baby, and several ghouls. So we're just here.
Are you being haunted?
Here we are. So, Fee, I wanted to talk a little bit about how we met.
Yeah.
And our experience in Plaza Midwood and NODA.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. So Pal and I met at a party. At a party, and it was really fun.
I do not remember the party at all.
Oh my gosh. I mean, who did? It was college days, and we were just partying it up.
Always. We stayed partying it up.
Yeah, we forever partied it up. In these houses, we partied it up.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They have seen many things, these 4 walls of these haunted houses we lived in.
Haunted homes.
Oh, Lord. I'm sure the ghosts were pissed off.
They probably liked it. They probably wanted to party with us. Yeah.
They were probably pissed that we were, stomping all over the place.
They probably were like, hell yeah. We about to party with these girls and a ghoul.
That's what they were doing.
What?
They are the ghoul.
What if we brought a ghoul there?
I think that they were already there without us.
They were there.
I feel. Anyway, so we met at the parties through mutual friends, and we were acquaintances and friends for, I don't know, probably 3 years. And then I think we both found ourselves at a weird crossroads, trying to get away from university for sure. I think we were both I think I was living in South End. I had recently moved to South End, and I had lived in South End for maybe a year. And you were living in university. And I think we wanted a change of scenery to get away from certain goals and just start
some living goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is really the greatest part about meeting you, is because we just clicked. Even though we didn't ever hang out, we just saw each other at parties. We just meshed really well, being roomies. And then our friendship just grew from there, which I'm very, very happy about.
Oh my gosh. Best friends, sisters
best
forever.
Friends, my sister.
Let me tell you about my best friend. Anyway, but yeah, so I think that after, we established our love and our friendship, we lived in a house in Plaza Midwood that was just creepy. It left a sour taste in my mouth anyway, but I remember it being old and dingy. I know I've talked to you about the attic. Someone tried to get up there one day, one of us, and it was locked, or it was closed, or it was really weird up there. I don't remember what happened. There was something with the attic. And
you blocked it out because it was just so spooky.
I think so. I think I blocked it out. But I also, I think that we had more experiences at the Noda house together.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, my, at the time, boyfriend inherited this house from us, him and his best friend, two of our good friends. And they were non-believers. And I think that this house might have at least made one of, or both of them, like, semi-believers, agnostics, because we were having this conversation one night, and I know you're probably tired of the story, but we were having this conversation one night in the living room, and we were literally talking about that house being really creepy and how we wanted to open Billy up to the idea that there might be ghosts or that there might be paranormal energy or something. And he was just basically telling me that I was being an idiot and that it was ridiculous and that he just didn't see why I would believe in that stuff. And this mirror that was on the mantle, which I think was Billy's mom, and we told her this story recently, it was diagonal, like leaning up against the wall, so it had like some space in the back, so it's like sitting up, leaning up against the wall at a diagonal. And all of a sudden, while we're like having this crazy conversation talking, the mirror slips, or doesn't slip. I'm sorry. It does not slip.
Slips and slides.
It slips and slides all over the place. It doesn't slip is the point. It doesn't slip and fall like forward or back. I just can't.
Reverse.
Okay, so the mirror folds over forward. So, like, there are not enough adjectives to tell you what happened to this mirror, but it literally
it just started moving. It started
levitating and dancing around the room. You wouldn't believe the dance moves on this thing. No, it seriously folded forward, like defied the laws of physics, went forward and shattered into 1,000 pieces. And it made a believer.
7 years of bad luck, dude.
I don't care about that. I cared about the ghosts that came and knocked the mirror down, that slipped and slided it all over the place.
I don't care about 7 years of bad luck. I just care about them damn ghosts.
That ghoul.
Ghoul's haunted me.
He scared me.
But I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with 7 years of bad luck.
But like, does that mean that you all have 7 years of bad luck, or just the owner?
No one has bad luck ever. We're all thriving, so I think it was really just the ghoul. But I don't know, just creepy shit in that house. So remember the Noda house?
Oh my gosh, the Noda house was the scariest house I think that we lived in. Well,
the worst.
You think it's the worst? You don't think it's the scariest?
No, it was the best house. It was so cute.
Oh.
It was like right in the heart of Noda.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
I mean, it was really, really pretty. Yeah. I was super excited to live there.
Oh my gosh.
Remember we had that weird interview process and trying to live there.
That was weird.
We passed
with flying colors. Also, we exceeded our budget by like what, $400, $500.
Oh my gosh.
We just had to live there.
Yeah.
And in the end, we had some really great times there. I think, I don't know, I always struggle with like, was like the Midwood house more fun or the Noda house more fun?
I think we were maturing
in the Noda house.
Noda, but we were delinquents.
Yeah, in the Midwood house, we were legit delinquents.
Yeah, I think we definitely partied more at the Plaza Midwood home.
Yeah.
And we became more mature. I don't know how.
We grew up.
I think we just got better jobs, and then we're like, we can't party anymore.
Exactly. But that Noda house, I think from the beginning, there was something weird about it. And do you know, like, I know that you know stats on the Midwood house.
Okay, are you guys ready for my fun fact?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us.
All right. It's really nothing.
That's okay.
Actually, this property was built in the 1900s.
Which one? Noda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's
that's
old.
120 years old.
Yeah. And for the United States, that's like pretty old.
Yeah. And it said, I looked this up on the internet. It
Internet
says,
researcher.
I'm the researcher person. Not really. But it said, so it's 120 years old, which is 82 years older than the average age of a building in Charlotte, North
Yeah,
Carolina.
that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you with what happened to me. This
Okay.
was trauma.
Let me hear
So
it.
you were God knows where. You were just not home. Like you were not sleeping at the house. And Chris and I went to dinner in Noda, and we were just driving through, or he was going to drop me off and go across the street to where he lived. And we're in the driveway, like saying goodbye, like, you know, we were like dating stages, so you know there's like 15-minute goodbyes where you're like, oh my gosh, love you, kissing, bye.
You're so in love.
We were so in love. And I look in the driveway, Fee. Oh my God. I like still remember it. Like I could cry at how petrified I was. And I have Chris as my witness. And you know Chris like doesn't play games. Like he's not one to be like, yeah, ghost. But he was freaked out. There is what looks like a woman in our yard in a white gown spinning in circles. Fiona.
Oh my gosh.
When I tell you that I wanted to die, I was like, oh my God, I was so scared. And so Chris, I was like, Chris, what is that? What is that? And he was like, oh shit. What the fuck?
He
We
saw it
backed
too.
out. Oh yeah. We backed out of that driveway so fast and like went to the Midwood house, and we were telling Billy again about this story, and he's just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, stop. Like, you guys are insane. So I think I texted that night and I was just like, Fee, where are you? Like confirming that you were not sleeping at the house, that we were not going to be home. And I think the next day, like we discovered like a bag or a sheet or something was happening. There was like something on the fence, but Fiona, like it was terrifying. And then you add that to everything else that went down in the house, like the noises, the pops. Like, do you remember the
Oh my
pops?
gosh, yes. There would be little bumps in the night. It was so creepy. Like there was times, you know, you were sleeping at Chris's house and I was there alone, and it was just a little terrifying because you would just hear things, and then you're just thinking in your head like, oh well, this house is very old pipes. But yeah, with all the encounters that we've had there, it just creeps you out even more. Like that one time our friend, you know, did their project of they were trying to do a scary movie, I believe. I can't really remember what the concept was, but we were all put into the bathroom that I actually used when we lived together. And I can't remember. I think the lights were off or some sort, and we were trying to act, which we probably did terrible. And once, you know, they played it back to us, they discovered that there were all these orbs on the film, and it freaked us out even more, you
But
know?
do you remember that after we discovered the orbs, that the bathroom light started flickering and it had never flickered before?
Oh
And just like
my
after
gosh.
the orbs, like I don't know, a series of like 2 or 3 more
I
things
felt
happened.
like they were like, "Ooh, you discovered us, the
Yeah,
ghoul," you know?
yeah,
And
the
they were
ghoul in that
upset.
house. Yeah, the ghoul in that house was like, I'm gonna show you something. It
Yeah,
was, yeah, that house, man. Oh,
it
I
was
don't
really,
know.
it was scary.
So I think that because of these experiences that we've had together and that we've actually lived through together, and like our respective like childhood and like, you know, just different things have led us here to this moment where we are like, why not start a podcast about ghost stories. And also we both like to travel, especially on car trips, like podcasts.
Oh yeah, I love listening to a good podcast when I'm driving somewhere.
For sure.
Especially to Charlotte.
Absolutely. So like I think that me and Chris especially are always looking for like a creepy podcast with like stories like aliens or paranormal stuff, or like, I don't know, the true crime gets old to me, you know that. So I'm like, how about we give the people some like good paranormal?
Give them the goods.
Give them the good
scary
stuff.
goods.
Absolutely. We need to share the wealth. So I think that that's kind of like where our passion lies and like why we're doing this. I think that we especially like have encountered so many friends and people in our lives that like have spoken out and said, hey, I've got a story, or hey, that sounds awesome that you guys are doing this podcast. I wouldn't mind being interviewed because, you know, X, Y, and Z happened to me, which has been really good.
I think that's so neat. And it's very entertaining just to hear those stories. I mean, who doesn't like a good scary story?
I don't know. We took a poll and apparently, I don't remember the stats, but like
I think 80% said they like, you know, ghost stories.
Yeah. Then 20%, they're big babies. They're still going to listen.
Well, they're just non-believers. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just making this all up.
Honestly, like, even if you're a non-believer, like, there's something fun about hearing the story. So I'm excited.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So we do have an Instagram. If you want to follow, or if you're not already following us, it's at the number 2 girls and a ghoul. And we're requesting ghost stories. Tell us about, you know, when you've been ghosted.
But not by an asshole, like a ghost.
Like a ghoul.
Like a ghoul. Okay, anyway.
Very first time. Just kidding.
Haunted so much. Okay.
Haunt me now. I don't know.
So email us your stories too at 2girlsn, the letter N, a ghoul at gmail.com. So 2girlsn, a ghoul at gmail.com. And so we hope to bring our friends on the show. We hope to bring local stories, regional stories, interviews, and Fee, our history buff, to inform us on the background and some of the historical facts that lie between the paranormal and what was actually fact. So traditional ghosts of the region and folklore, we're really excited. So I think our next guest is actually a mutual friend of ours, Charlotte native. And she's going to be sharing her experience. And she told me a snippet of her story, and it was chilling. So I'm really excited for that.
Me too. I'm excited. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And just to let you know, we're all here for the booze. Stay tuned.
Get your booze.
Get your booze. Here for the booze.
Bye.
Bye, girl.